Hello everyone, hope you are doing good today. So in my last video I have explained to you how you can upload a file from your local system to a S3 bucket, and to do that we created a I am a user, and then we copied the secret key and the secret, and then we created the S3 client. Okay, so I have uploaded the source code in my GitHub repo. So this is the source code. So if you go to my GitHub repo, then you will find this repository AWS Lambda Java, and inside that you will find a folder called upload file to S3, and here I have created a main method, this one, and then I created the S3 client like this. Okay, so here you need to create a AWS credential like this. This is your access key and this is your secret. Okay, and then you have to create the S3 client like this. Okay, but today I'm going to show you how you can upload a file to S3 bucket from a Lambda function. Okay, so here I have created a Lambda function. Okay, and the dependency is like the same. So this was the dependency, that is a AWS SDK version v2 for Java. Okay, so you have to use the artifact S3, and then you know how to create a Lambda function, so that I'm not going to show you. So this is my S3 bucket. So I've created a S3 bucket. So this is the bucket, and here there is no file yet. Okay, and then I'm going to upload this file. So I have created a file inside the Lambda functions resource folder. Okay, so for you it can be from anywhere, it's depend on your project, and the file name is file.txt like this. Okay, so when we uploaded the file from our local system, we created the client like this. Okay, so now let's create the client which we are going to use from Lambda function. Okay, so here you don't need any IAM user. Okay, because we will grant Lambda function access to S3. Okay, so Lambda can write files to S3 bucket, so you don't need to create any IAM user for that. So we can build like this. You need to add the region where you have the S3 bucket. So I have my bucket here, and then build. Okay, so this is the default client. Okay, and it will automatically assume the roles added in the Lambda function, so that Lambda can access to S3 bucket. And then you have to add the things we did for uploading file from local system. So it's the same thing. Okay, you have to create a put object request class, and here you have to mention the bucket name and the file name. Okay, and then using the S3 client, there is a method called put object, and then you need to pass the put request object reference here, and then you need to read the file using a class provided by AWS S3 SDK, that is a request body class, and there is a method called from file. You can use it to read the file. Okay, so that's it. Okay, and now let's build this project. So now Lambda function is created. Okay, in my local. So now I will create a Lambda function in AWS. So this is my AWS console. So I will create a function here. Let's say upload to S3, and then we will select the runtime at Java 17, and then we are not going to change any other settings. think it will take a few seconds to create the function. Okay, the function is created. Now we will upload the jar file from our local. So this is my jar file created in local. And now we have to update the handler method. So here our handler method is this is the package name, this is the class name, and the method is same, handle request. Okay, and then save it. Okay, now let's test it. So we have not added any roles to the Lambda, so Lambda will use the default role, okay, to invoke to write logs into the CloudWatch, that role. But so now Lambda doesn't have any access to S3. Okay, so I'm going to show you the error we will have if we don't grant any role to Lambda. Test S3 upload. So this is the JSON input. It can be anything because I have declared it as object, so it can receive anything. So now if I test it, you see there is execution error and it's access denied. Okay, that means Lambda doesn't have access to the S3 bucket. Okay, so now let's update the role, default role. So this is the default role created. When you create the Lambda, AWS will automatically create a role and it will assign it to Lambda function. So if you go to the role, you will see that there is a AWS Lambda basic execution role. Okay, so and this role doesn't have access to S3. So now we can add permission to this role. So now we will attach policy, and if you search here S3, so we will give S3 full access. Okay, because we are going to write something. So add permission. So we added now S3 full access. Okay, so now let's go to the Lambda function and test it again. Okay, you see now test is successful. So now let's go to the S3 bucket and refresh it. You see the file is uploaded. So that's all, you guys. I mean, it's very easy to upload a file to a S3 bucket from a Lambda function. You don't need to create any IAM user. Okay, you can create the default S3 client and you just need to attach the correct policy to the Lambda role. Okay, so that's all for today's video, and if you like the video, then please subscribe to my channel for more videos related to AWS and also related to coding. Thank you guys, thanks for watching.